Generic or genuine?
So, all right, Jack. What do you have for us for generic or genuine today?
So, as I said previously, we've got Post Malone with a new album. It's called 12 Carat Toothache. It was released on June 3rd,
Nice.
2022. And the first song off the album is called Reputation. Now, here's what I thought of the song. Some cool effects were in it, especially towards the end. I like how there was like this shepherd tone-esque rising thing that he did. So they took like a sample of his vocal and then it slowly got higher and higher and higher until it transitions into the next song. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then I also thought it was like, as a song, it actually kind of created a soundscape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like for the whole album.
Yeah. And so I thought that was pretty cool as well. And it's interesting that he started off so like punchy, to the point, visceral, like I am in a lot of pain, like I have a lot of emotional pain, I've got this reputation that everyone thinks of me, yada yada, you know.
Right. And then like kind of the theme of the album is this is who I am. I like going and partying and being a rock star, you know, popping pillies, you know, being posty, hanging out with the groupies, wink wink, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like,
that's his lifestyle for sure.
and it's just not good to have a wife or a significant other in this environment. It's not cool.
He's definitely alluding to that throughout the entire album, sometimes more overt than other times, you know.
And then other times very cryptic, but it's just kind of like setting up the motivation of the album of like, I have this pain of having someone, but it just doesn't work out because of my personality. Why don't I go make some songs? But this was during the pandemic that he started making it. So that leads right into the next song, Cooped Up, with Roddy Ricch. And it's just about, I feel cooped up in my house because I can't go anywhere. Things got lifted. The CDC says I can go outside. Let's party.
Yeah,
that's basically the song.
It's totally a party song. The beat highlights that as well, or at least accentuates that. I liked how Roddy didn't rhyme at the end of his verse. That was a nice little mix-up because, you know, I like rhyming. However, there's got to be a point to rhyming, and it all has to, again, come back to meaning. So if you're just rhyming to rhyme, like what Gunna and Young Thug do in Hot,
well, that's ghostwriting.
Yeah.
You just have someone looking up words and going, hey,
that sounds
just
good.
Write as much as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually do like Roddy Ricch.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a bad verse at all. I thought this was a cool song.
I don't necessarily enjoy his verses. I really like his choruses. They're really good. Okay. But it's into that mumble rap, really hardcore.
It depends on what you do with it and what you mean by it.
And it depends when I'm listening to it, the song, for sure. If I'm partying, the song's fine.
Right. I think you made the point that like this is a nice album to have in the background at a party, and I would agree with that. Moving forward, we have Lemon Tree as the third track off of the album. I liked the guitar part, and it's a more interesting guitar part than we've usually gotten or lately gotten from Post, in my opinion.
It's showing his growth.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's super cool. He's getting more complex with every single song, every single album. It's very nice to see.
At least the guitar playing is, and that's not when he's held back by his label, because I think part of the issue with this album is he might have been held back musically by the label that he's signed to, but that's my opinion.
Or he put as much effort into it, and he needed a really good producer to pair with this, and the producer just wasn't up to the job.
Yeah, because it didn't feel creative musically. It felt really honest in terms of its meaning, and it felt creative in terms of its meaning because Post has more alluded to his issues.
It was very expressive.
Yeah, and that the music doesn't match that, and I think that's a theme you see throughout the album.
That's a good point.
Wrapped Around Your Finger is the next song. It's a cute little jam. It kind of sounds like Run Away, Run Away. Like
the
that.
Circle song from his last
It really does.
album.
I think it might be in the same key, actually. Which is why it would be.
I really like the beginning, how it's bouncing back and forth with the keys, the synth keys, and then his voice too. And it starts very abruptly. It starts right with his voice.
Yeah. It's interesting how many abrupt things happen on this album, like just even the beginning, and then this song now too, right?
And then so we got like kind of like a duo song with the first one, I Like You, a happier song featuring Doja Cat.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's Doja Cat. It's like this nice little song on her comments originally that we had highlighted on this show, where she lashed out and said that she was going to quit. But this song just was such a nice little like groove. Mm-hmm. And it felt like someone who was emotionally distraught could really vibe with this song. They could really just get along. It's just a nice, happy environment. And then that's why it's called a happier song.
Yeah. The one thing that confuses me a little bit, and I feel is a little bit cryptic, but I might just be misinterpreting, is like how he feels about the person he's writing about in this song. Because I can't tell if he's like trying to be friends, or if he's trying to or if he's trying to do both, or you know what I'm saying?
Well, he's a rock star.
Yeah. So it's
he's
both.
definitely a rock star. So
yeah.
Yeah. And so the next one is a sadder song, I Cannot Be, with Gunna. And originally, Jack, you missed the Gunna part?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, Gunna and Post sound so much like each other in this song that I was like, wait, that's Gunna?
I was wondering where it started, and at one point I was like, oh yeah, isn't that Gunna? And I was like, no, that's Post. Gunna starts now for 30 seconds, and it's his usual mumble rapping self, but I could actually understand some of the words.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that a nice change of events?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, nice.
We're really highlighting Gunna this episode.
Yeah, woo! Gunna, you're getting better. Hopefully get out of jail, man.
Yeah.
So we got the seventh song on the album, Insane, and I think it's just a story building song. Like, this isn't a single at all. Like, at all.
Yeah.
No embrace of a single.
It contributes more to the whole idea of the album, which, you know, as an album, like what Posty wrote for his lyrics, I think is a very holistic piece. Like I said, though, musically, it's just lackluster.
Yeah, it's kind of the expression that Kendrick had without the production.
Yeah, because Kendrick's production, like if you compare...
He like made it in 4 years, and then this was made in 2.
So I could see how that would take more time, because Kendrick thought about probably every single detail of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
So, and then that's why the deluxe version with the 2 songs at the end that showed up after, that's why the production on those is a little bit better, because it does feel a little rushed, this album.
I could see that. Although, like, is it rushed if it took 2 years is my question? You know,
in pandemic and in COVID. And it does take a good 5 years to make like a concept album nowadays. Kendrick took that long.
Yeah, and I mean Kendrick
Pusha takes that long too.
And it was worth the time for both of those cases. And I think the lyrics were worth the time for this album. But everything is just so generic in terms of its music.
And then some of the songs, like the next one, Love Hate Letter to Alcohol. And he's talking about how he got way too trashed one night, took like way too many shots, and then he had to call his dentist in the morning because he got into a fist fight, an altercation.
Yeah. Maybe even a reference to 12 Carat Toothache, you know?
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So it's just the rock star life Posty's living.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, in my opinion, this song really shows how he's like got an addictive personality. Like he's straight up addicted to everything.
And then that's why the next song, the 9th one, is Wasting Angels with Kid Laroi. And he's going through Don't Let Another Angel Go to Waste. Probably speaking of Juice WRLD and X and all of these people, Mac Miller, wanting to do a song with Kid Laroi before anything happens to him or anything happens to himself.
Yeah, right. Yep. Yeah. I just thought it was a beautiful song.
It's really nice.
Meaning-wise and musically,
really
this is
nice.
one of the better ones for sure.
Right. And the next one, the maximal minimalism portion of the album. Call back.
Oh my God.
Euthanasia. I mean, so later in the album, the regular non-deluxe version ended with a quote new recording, January 3rd, 2020, and that is just Post playing the guitar and having the first verse and then saying euthanasia.
Yes.
So it's like the bare bone foundation of this song.
Yeah.
So it would be a nice ending, but then the deluxe version adds
two
more. So I was trying to argue that they should have had the new recording, the bone foundation, before the euthanasia.
I could see that. It's just, how do you want to work with this preliminary recording, you know? Some might say that it's a good way to end an album just because it shows the process that you went through.
And then it should just be another album of the new
outtakes.
recording of the
Yeah.
outtakes. I mean,
Right.
like Kendrick Lamar did the Untitled album just of outtakes.
And that is a killer album
It's
too.
a killer album.
Yeah, right. Like Untitled #6 with CeeLo and
CeeLo.
yeah,
It has
Kendrick. Yeah, man.
CeeLo can rap in a
Yep.
verse. I never knew that before.
And then throws on his beautiful vocals as always, you know. But let's not get
It's
too ahead of
insane.
ourselves. Let's come back to When I'm Alone, number 11 on Post's album.
Yeah, the pop rock song.
Yeah.
And it's this cryptic, revealing, it's another storyboarding song
Yeah.
for the album.
Like creates a story, contributes to the overall idea and theme.
It's not a single.
Yeah. However, it feels conflicted to me, you know.
Because it's living in this pop rock where pop rock where
area.
it should be like a single.
Yeah. Yep. But it you know, like that's the thing, is musically it feels conflicted because it could be like a pop rock kind of single that is you know, a different twist for Post Malone.
And then his way that he sings is very very nice and melodic, but then the things that he says is just like completely contrasting the whole environment of the song.
Yeah, and that's again why it's so hard to
Yeah.
understand some of the tracks on this album, because the producer had a different idea than Post did, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, of course. Because Post is like, I love who I am, but of course, it makes me feel a little bit depressed on certain aspects.
Yeah.
And then it's as if the producer is caught in one of those sides when it should lie right in the middle.
Where the producer and Post need
It's
to come
going
to the
way
middle.
to this way or that way. Because, like, the next song,
Mm-hmm.
Waiting for a Miracle, is completely different. It sounds like a church song.
Yeah.
It sounds like something that they're going to play during the offering.
Long reverb.
Yeah.
Like, you know how, like, if you've ever been to like a rock church is what I'm gonna call it, where it's like a whole like
hell yeah.
show and stage and lights and stuff. This song is exactly like that. You hit it on the nose with this one.
Right?
Yeah.
So is he transitioning to...
Christianity? I don't know. Oh God.
And then we got the one right now.
The
that
single.
was released November 5th, 2021. And you could say it's about sex addiction. You could say this. You could say that. You can put it, because I don't have the one right now. I'll just settle with... Oh, crap. See, I messed it up, Jack. See, it's covering up the pain of not having the right one with the one right now.
Yeah. Right.
I'll give myself a boo for that.
That's
for
okay.
messing it up.
We forgive you. But yeah, you know, if you look at it on its surface level, it seems like sex addiction, but it's sex addiction filling the hole of the pain of not having somebody, which is again the basic theme of this entire
The whole
album.
theme of, this is who I am, though. I'm comfortable
Yeah.
with it.
And that's where I feel like he's conflicted, though, because like he may say that he's comfortable in being himself, but he also has this feeling out here about someone else that he wants to have in his life. You know what I'm saying?
Or is it she wants to be in his life.
And he doesn't need her to be or doesn't want to because he doesn't want to
He
hurt her.
loves her
Yeah.
enough to say, do not be by me.
Yeah. That's what it really comes down to, is because he knows that he's capable of causing someone a lot of pain, you know, because of the way he exists.
He's a rock star.
Exactly.
And then so that one is followed by New Recording.
Which is where the non-deluxe version of the album ends. But then, and like we talked about previously, it's just a preliminary recording of Euthanasia. But with the deluxe album, we have track number 15, Waiting for Never. And Justin and I's feeling about these two tracks, well, just even the two tracks at the end of the album is like, it seems a little bit strange, the placement of these two songs at the end in the deluxe version.
But they are the most produced.
Yes, I can agree with that. So it comes back to the idea that maybe they spent more time with these songs because it came on the deluxe version.
Well, it was released a couple days after.
So, I mean, it's not like it's that much more time.
Yeah, they get another day with it. So why don't you just put it within
the album?
The album, because song number 16, the ending of the album is hateful.
Yeah.
Why are you ending with like a hateful hatred song? Because we're going back to the Kendrick example of this is like a revealing, expressing album, and Kendrick is saying in Mirror, the last song of that album, sorry, I don't have anything else for you. I'm going home. And then this one, Post is saying, I'm angry. Love is hateful. And because that's the environment that he puts himself into, of he can't have a significant other because of his personality.
And but it makes him resentful, which is why I think that Post in all is conflicted, but at least he's being honest about he's self-actualizing his confliction.
Because he's a rock star, man.
Yeah. And he can't he tells himself that he can't live any other way, which I don't know if that's the case necessarily, but I mean, that's what he thinks for the moment. You know?
Right. So what do we think, Jack? Generic or genuine on the album as a whole? Because there's generic aspects and there are genuine aspects.
As a whole, I say genuine, lyric-wise. Definitely, though, musically, it's generic. If I'm going to have to put both of them together, I'm going to still give the edge to genuine, but it's a slight edge just because Post is being more honest about himself.
I honestly think it's genuinely generic.
Yeah, and that's a way to see it as well.
Yeah, because Post he's a genuine guy. He's expressing himself. He is revealing. He is putting himself out there. It's exactly what you want an artist to do. But yeah.
I still come to the conclusion that he should have worked with a more creative producer for this album, because the beats don't match the songs and the intensity of the lyrics. The music is just, like I've said a million times already,
but even
generic.
If they were trying to contrast, because I really like the contrast of having like an angry beat and then soft words. I like that contrast, but it's as if they're always on the wrong page for every song.
Yeah, the producer and Posty are not on the same page, and I agree with you on that. So this has been the Cheap Shot Music Podcast.
Please download or stream this episode wherever you get your podcasts.
Please leave a like and or a comment on our social medias. It's greatly appreciated.
And thank you everyone for listening.